Coming up on the Poli-Takes podcast post-election special, the results are in. After a campaign that seemed to have lasted forever has finally come to an end, the next president of the United States has been chosen by the American people. Donald J. Trump will be the 47th president of the United States. What has changed after a 4-year hiatus? What does he bring to the table? Election confusion. As results are tallied and Kamala Harris concedes, people believe she's not done yet, and what her team is saying in response to accusations of election fraud. No takesies backsies. What people are thinking 1 week after the election that has some people trying to change their vote. While Google says people still thought Joe Biden was running for president. Too close to call. Some presidential, Senate, and House races are still too close to call even 1 week after Election Day, and what the Harris team is doing in order to help recount if needed to choose the winner. The blue wall falls down. Donald Trump takes the blue wall, making it the red wall, and making California more red. All that and much more on a special edition of the Poli-Takes podcast, which starts right here in a bit.
Yes, that's a
How dare you misspeak Frederick Fazbarrington's full name?
Yes, it has the
I was really laying down to go to sleep and I look and see them like, oh my god, Freddie Fazbear.
Don't you mean Frederick Fazbarrington III? How dare you?
How dare you, good sir? How dare you?
Listen, you one more misspeak, and we will have you sent to the king himself, and you will be put into the Tower of London, and when the dragon will personally eat you, and he will snack on you.
Yeah.
Who's the dragon?
It's a dragon. You don't need to ask who it is.
Any name, address? Who's his married?
We just
Why?
said.
Why do you need to know? Do
We
you
just
intend
said,
on?
because
Do you
I-
end on? Do you end up doing unspeakable things?
Not me, the dragon parent.
Don't tell me you're going to. You're going to yiff the dragon, aren't you?
How
The
dare-
dragon wants to eat me.
How does that sound?
Let's talk about how to tell if we have dementia. How to tell if I have.
Man, totally taking that right, Darren. Totally.
Wait,
Because
why is
he-
it purple.
What?
Why is it purple?
Why is what purple? What?
The link. The link to the
That was so
Yeah.
weird.
You know, we got him. We got him on recording.
Dear God, you recording that?
Did you guys get my joke though?
Yes, I got you. Yes, we got your joke.
What joke?
He has dementia. He forgot it.
I wasn't listening to that liberal. What was touche?
The joke about how it's purple when the link is perfect.
Oh, okay.
You get it?
You laughed at it.
I did get it.
You laughed at it, and then you forgot about it.
I didn't.
Dementia. Before Joe Biden dropped out.
Joe Biden trumped out?
Dropped out.
No,
technically.
he got pounded by Trump. Because, as you know, Joe Biden and Donald Trump are secretly in a gay relationship
Yes.
That would be funny.
That would be funny.
that would turn the entirety of
I guess
America.
he's keeping the house. Get it? Well, I see that not needed here anymore. But anyway, I was telling, I put it in the group chat, I don't know if any of you saw it, but I was saying in order for us to keep like concentrated, because some of us.
You see the liberal trying to deflect blame.
My fault. My fault.
I have proof because when I was editing the other episode, the one from last week from Ukraine, there was a part where Frankie's like, I want to change the subject, and then I just cut it. I was
No. Here's what you should do. When he says I don't want to change the subject, you should just pull on text, plain text on screen. Frankie then immediately changed the subject. We rambled for the next 20 minutes.
No, I did something better. I can pull it up. But
My idea is the best thing.
you're right. You're really better than me. There's a dinosaur loose in the studio.
Hey everyone, Jose here. Just wanted to get a few things out of the way before we start with this episode of the podcast. Also, and by the way, it's future Jose here. First, and this is probably going to be really obvious, this episode was recorded 1 week after Election Day. And this episode was supposed to come out before when it actually does come out. So as you know, a lot has changed a month after we recorded this. Donald Trump has chosen his cabinet picks. Some of them were controversial. And many other stuff going on around the world, not just in politics, which we have recorded episodes and are going to cover in future episodes. So since we didn't want to let this recording go to waste, we wanted to still release it for you all. We've just been really busy with other stuff going on, school and stuff like that we haven't been able to release this episode. We have been recording episodes, so right now I believe we already have about 4 episodes ready. Just need to be edited, and they're going to be edited before the end of the year, so you might be able to see them before the end of the year. Follow us on our social media and other places so you can keep updated when those do come out. And as always, subscribe so you can get notifications when new episodes do come out. I do feel it was good to hold off on releasing this episode just because we kind of, at least when the results came out originally, I feel like a lot of us had some tension between the both sides, both parties. And I think now that tension still exists, but we've kind of accepted it that some people might not agree with us, and that's what our point is for this podcast. I mean, you're gonna know right now when you listen to this episode, we don't agree on everything. We don't agree on the result of this election, and we can still be friends. We can still talk about other things, and you'll hear that in other episodes. But just knowing that even if we don't get along politically, we still get along as friends. We still get along as human beings. We live on the same planet. We have to get along. So being able to get along and respect each other, respectfully disagree with each other, even though we don't agree with each other, and we believe that the results might cause, a danger to other people, but respectfully disagree with each other it's really key in this. And the reason I say that is because you might hear something in this episode where you might not agree with us, you might not agree with me, you might not agree with Frankie or Robert, and that's okay, but just be respectful about it and just know that these are our opinions. Our opinions do change. We might believe something right now, and then maybe later on we might not agree with that and be like, why did I ever think about that? I didn't think about it clearly or whatever. But just know that and just keep that in mind when you're watching this. I hope that made sense, but that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. The second thing is that we're still trying to get the hang of this whole podcasting and trying to record episodes and get episodes out for you all. And you can probably tell we haven't been consistent in the past few. It's been a month since we released last episode, and we're only on 2 episodes. Or 1 episode and now 2 episodes with this one. So we're trying to get a little bit more consistent. We're trying to make it a little bit more easier. And one of those things, the reason why it's taking a little longer to record these is because we have to sync up the audio. The way that we were doing it before was we were recording on 2 different audios or 2 different microphones. And so it was kind of hard for me to make sure that it was synced and it didn't sound echoey. And I know the first episode when I watched it was too echoey, but I already edited it. Then I want to re-edit it again because I was like, it took too much time to do that. With this one as well, it's the same way. I think the next episode will be like that too. But with the 4th episode, I believe, and the 5th are going to be we bought some microphones, so we have under 1 track, and you will probably hear us better. I haven't listened to those audio recordings yet, so hopefully it's good. But there will be less echoes, is what I can say, which will hopefully make it better and easier and faster to edit this than it would before. So we're going to get better at editing. We're going to get better with the audio, and hopefully make this podcast better so that more people watch it. So I think that's all I wanted to say. I know this is probably too long. It's like 4 minutes right now of me talking that I added into this episode, a really long episode already. So I hope that you bear with us and watch the whole episode. We do have a lot of laughs in this episode, so hopefully there's some comedic effects or not comedic effects, but some comedy in there to relieve you from a lot of talking. But there's also commercials, quote unquote commercials or breaks that we do, so you can break it up and watch it in a couple sittings, so you don't have to watch it all. I think it's going to be 1 hour and 30 minutes. It's what it's right now, but with me adding this whole thing now up to 5 minutes for this audio, it's going to probably be like an hour and 30 minutes, or maybe get to 2 hours. Hopefully not. But I don't know when I'm going to put this audio clip before. So you might be seeing the intro, the one that says, Poli-Takes podcast episode 2, whatever, the election special, whatever. So if you do see that afterwards, we hope to enjoy the episode. Depending on where you see this, you might hear us talking about, Frederick Fazbarrington, which is just some random stuff that we were talking about at the beginning of recording this, and we wanted to include that there so you can see that we talk about politics and we talk about these hard things to talk about, and we might not always agree, but we do talk about it, and we might respectfully disagree with each other, but we do talk about it and we get along. So we hope that you enjoy this episode, and I'll let you get back to hearing it. But also, speaking of hearing it, if you're all interested in a video version of this, so you don't have to just hear us and you can see us as we're talking, let us know. Maybe leave a comment down below. Let us know if you're interested in it. And then that way, we might be able to invest in some equipment for that. Who knows? We'll see. If the demand is high, we'll go ahead and do it. Also, shout out to all the people in my life, friends, family, coworkers at work who have mentioned the podcast to me. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being interested in it. Hopefully, we can get to have some of you on one day. Hint, hint, Robert, Frankie. But anyways, I'll return you back to the podcast. One last thing is that we do have a lot of episodes that we talk about current events going on right now. So at the time I'm recording this audio right now on Saturday, December 14th. We're actually outside of work. I should probably head home. It's like 7 p.m. I should leave. But I'm recording this, and there's a lot of stuff that's going on right now. We have the Luigi Mangione, the CEO killer, the one that killed the United Healthcare CEO. We talked about that this past Tuesday, which is episode 5. So hopefully we can edit all those episodes. And what I want to do before the end of the year is edit all the episodes and release them all before the end of the year. That way we are synced up to where we are recording them on Tuesday, releasing them whenever we release them, and it's more current. So we're not talking about something that happened a month ago when you hear the episodes, which will happen for a few weeks until we get back to that. We are going to go on like winter vacation or whatever, winter break, whatever they call it. And then we're going to have a lot more time to record more episodes and pre-record some that are just generic. Like, for example, we talking about our COVID experiences. I think we can make a whole episode about that. That way, if we miss a week or something, we're not as pressured to get an episode out right away. And we can just, put that there instead of having to record something last minute that's not going to be great. And then we'll have like 2 or 3 of them that's just like there on standby in case we ever need something to just record and not have to worry about it being current, something about current events. But we do have a lot of current events that we talked about. Again, the Luigi Mangione one. We talked about what happened in Syria a couple days ago. The plane that got shot at in Haiti was another episode. I think that's going to be next episode 3 or 4. But we do have a lot of stuff that's currently happening right now that by the time you see this will be probably not currently happening anymore, because it's more far away or more. It's after. My brain is not functioning anymore. I need to sleep. It's not going on right now, so we'll go ahead and try to get synced up with audio. First of all, we should do that because that's terrible. But also synced up to current events and with our episodes, so they're not like talking about stuff that happened a month ago. I should probably stop rambling. But anyway, that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode, and then I'll see you at the end, or you'll hear from me at the end. Damn, I really need to go to sleep. I'll see you at the end. You'll hear me at the end for the outro. Enjoy. Sorry for it being 8 minutes long. At least that's what it says here, but I'm going to edit this a lot.
Greetings, everyone. This is our episode on the presidential elections that happened a week ago at time of recording.
And it appears to be a complete landslide victory for the Republicans.
Now, how did we all think this would have turned out? I know how one of us hoped it would have turned out, but he turned out to be wrong because he's a liberal.
Okay, full disclosure. When I was seeing all the compare Kamala Harris's all of her conferences compared to Trump's. There's literally people leaving leaving early and going boo at Kamala Harris. But when it comes to Donald Trump, people are literally lining up in the thousands just to be outside the area he's gonna do his speech.
Do you mean rallies?
Yes, rallies.
They were also leaving for Trump. There was times where there was one time, I think for his last one actually, he was saying people are this place is absolutely filled up to the max, and the cameraman panned around and it was halfway empty.
They did the same thing for Kamala Harris.
Probably, I think they might have done that.
Actually, there was one time where the Democrats had the illusion of a full stadium by just putting a black curtain over the bit that was empty.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's a smart move.
It's also misleading.
Yes, and rather pathetic.
I don't know anyone who was going to vote for Kamala Harris that was looking at the rallies and if the rallies fill up, I'm going to vote for her. Or whoever has... Because that was not a big issue, I think.
I was going to say, supposedly last election, Biden got 81 million votes. But only 72 million for Kamala this year. Where did 9 million voters go?
To Trump.
No. Where?
They just disappeared. Because...
There was also a lot of people who didn't want to vote this time.
Because basically everyone...
Because they were undecided, they didn't know who to vote for.
Yeah, because let's be honest, both of the options were not the best.
Yes, I will say those options sucked ass.
I will say...
Freaking dare say Kamala's good.
Yes, I thought she was good. And I still think she was good. Or she is good. I thought we've been over this.
Oh my God.
Oh!
Why would I vote for someone... why would I vote for someone that I don't like?
We all voted for someone we didn't like for this election.
You did, not me.
What is the nearest least deadly object that I can throw at you?
I'm being attacked.
Anyway.
Murder. Threatened.
Full disclosure, any threats of violence are merely a joke. I just wanted to get that out there.
Yes.
And when I go over excessive and be like, he's a liberal, that is mostly a joke.
Yes.
Yes.
For exaggeration, for comedic effect.
Yes.
So before any liberal gets all, I just wanted to make that disclosure clear.
We're all
Especially
friends.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna change the subject real quick.
Okay, a classic Frankie.
Remember what happened.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. It'll be quick.
That's what he always says.
1 minute later.
Okay.
Enjoy this music.
Yes. Okay, but I feel like we should do another episode on maybe mental health.
It said Trump enslaved the Mexican people in his first term.
I don't think that's true. I don't agree with that one.
Of course you don't, because you didn't do it.
Because he is not as bad as many people make him out to be. He's bad, yes.
That's just
but
what...
not as bad as people make him out to be.
He's going to show his true colors. We're all going to see what he does in 3 years. 4 years. I don't know. But
if those flags, if he gets inaugurated and the flags roll down and it's an American flag with the stars aligned in a circle with a giant E in the middle of it, then I'm going to be worried.
What do you mean by the E?
It's a Fallout thing.
Oh.
It's called the Enclave. It's a little American deep state.
I just feel like, okay, so the next 3 years, the next 4 years are going to be interesting. Frankie is
God bless the Enclave.
Frankie's saluting the flag.
Yes! Listen, everyone knows the moral compass goes out the window when the bad guys have cool-ass armor. Do I want to join the people who have armor? Yes! Do I care?
5 minutes later.
Because of the armor!
20 minutes and 2 hours
That
later.
reminds me, not to get off topic, of the Albanian bridge.
2 hours and 4 days later.
So actually we're editing editing out this rant, right?
Yeah. We're going to do the same exact thing with a little music. Welcome back. We're back after 20 minutes.
Not to get off topic, if you could like give a brief summation, like Frankie then proceeded to talk about the Enclave, German tanks, and then Robert brought up the Albanian king in exile who fought for OT.
I'll keep that part in.
What do you mean you'll keep that part in?
The explanation that you gave right now.
We're getting off topic.
Yes. Election.
So, where were we? Election.
How about, let's say, or a question for you.
So, last bit of on-topic conversation I remember, Frankie said something about the Enclave, which is why there's a picture of the Enclave, right? Like,
God bless America, and God bless the Enclave.
Yes, he said that because I said that that we're gonna see Trump's
true colors in 4 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's break down these votes, shall we? This is for the presidential election. The blue wall doesn't look so blue.
Yeah, it doesn't. It seems that the blue wall has been completely destroyed. But it seems to be the coastal wall right there is new.
No, that was there.
The coastal wall.
Oh, it is?
I already knew.
I didn't really look at polls back in
2020.
Yeah.
The only thing that changed was Arizona, I think, or it was either Arizona or Nevada went back to red.
Yeah.
That was the only one I think.
This is.
Yeah, the California is a lot more red than there is blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, one of my other friends sent me a thing like you hate Californians, they're slowly being liberated.
Yes, we will liberate ourselves from the great liberal cancer.
Oh, you can't escape.
We even took this county on the coast.
Which one?
Del Norte. Del Norte, I think.
Oh
I
yeah.
like Del Norte. That sounds funnier.
Most of the counties are pretty inland.
Was that Los Angeles?
Orange County. Was
Oh yeah,
pretty
Orange
close.
County.
Wait, what was Los Angeles?
I think
Coast
Orange
blue,
County.
right?
Yes, obviously.
Okay.
Orange
That's the literal liberal headquarters.
No, it's Berkeley.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
another. That's
That was
there's
fast.
more than one headquarters of the liberals.
Oh, look. San Francisco. Was there any surprise here?
No, not at all.
I think what's it called?
Like 5.2 million Republican votes in California.
That's a lot,
Yes.
but definitely a lot more than last time. I'm assuming when a county is labeled as red like that, like fully red, like up here.
Yeah, that's when the race has been confirmed. Actually,
Okay.
where is the progress of the vote counts?
What do you mean? There's
No. Lake County only has 28% of the vote in.
really?
It's been a week. What are you doing?
Where's Lake County?
Damn.
Is Lake County above?
Oh, also I want to talk about
This is
okay.
Lake County.
When you know how back in 2020 when Trump lost, the conservatives are saying they cheated.
Yes.
Apparently the liberals are doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing.
That's what I wanted to talk about in the second segment, which we'll get to in a bit.
Yes.
They're doing
But-
the same thing.
My question for you all now is, at what point on election day did you all know Trump was going to win?
When I sat there playing War Thunder while watching the election in the background, I was playing American tanks.
At around 9 p.m. when I realized that Trump's lead
Was too big to
Yeah.
fail. That's when I came downstairs from our call, when we had a call between each other.
yes, because someone decided to not.
I was glued to my computer the whole time. And I have
made a
7 hours. But okay, back to the election. The reason I didn't want to, or we didn't hang out last week, was because I was going to be glued to my TV, and I have 7 hours of recording to prove that. But I knew around 8 p.m. that he was going to win.
That was a nice night because basically me and my dad were sitting there, guessing who was going to win, and then I was just sitting there playing War Thunder on my reclining chair.
Yes,
Nice
and
night.
yes.
Although we didn't have, and also I talked to Robert and we made a manifesto. That was a fun night.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
happy it was fun for you.
Yes, and then I joined my online friends, and they're mostly liberals, and they're all like, "I'm going to leave the country." I'm like,
Oh, they were doing the same thing too?
yes, and I'm just sitting there laughing, like, okay, realistically, are you going to do shit? No.
No. Oh, there was one that was really funny. There was one that said, "I'm going to leave the United States and go to Hawaii." You can look that one up. That one is real. And I was laughing for a while. I was like, "Ain't no way that's stupid." I just would imagine if he did, the look of horror on his face when he walks out of the airport and sees the American flag dangling right in front of him. That would be comedy gold.
We do not claim him.
Oh, what?
We do not claim him. He does not belong to us.
Yes, we do not.
It's an uneducated mob. Proof otherwise.
Yes, they're definitely uneducated. There ain't no way.
I'm educated.
Are you?
Yes.
Really? Are you? Are you really?
I would say. Is there any evidence that I'm not? That I don't know of?
Well, you voted for Kamala.
Yeah,
That was a pretty
That doesn't
educated.
really give out much indication. You voted
Actually-
for Kamala.
That reminds me, I forgot to include this, but I wanted to talk to you guys. And then also I would say, what's the reason you don't like Kamala? And then I would say what the reason is I don't like Trump. We can leave it for a different episode or we can do it today.
We can maybe have it as its own section.
Yes.
Speaking of, is there anything else we want to say for this section?
Oh, yes. I was just going to say, I was all election night, as soon as 8 o'clock hit, when I knew Trump was going to win, I was just kept refreshing those pages, kept looking at those maps to see if there's any chance. Like, I was calculating the votes. I was like, is there any chance he will win? But unfortunately not. And yeah.
Also,
I remember in the last episode I said I asked for the day off.
Who
So I
the
didn't.
fuck is Angus King?
Who the freak is that? What is
What?
what is this?
It's the Senate vote.
Angus King.
Oh, Robert, I needed that.
What is this guy? An independent.
Oh my God, he looks like Colonel Sanders. He kind of, well, actually not
He
really.
do-
80 years old.
He's 80 freaking years old. Oh, for
That proves that you can still be old and run for office.
you can be 300 years old and you can still run for office.
I guarantee
You can be a criminal and still run for office.
Washington was still
And get
alive.
elected,
If
apparently.
George Washington achieved immortality and somehow had his presidential term reset, some people would support his run for office.
Yes.
Probably.
You know, actually, here's the thing. No one would.
Why?
Because he has no political affiliation. He has
He
no
what?
party.
Wait, he had no party?
No.
No.
He actually was
Yeah.
against the parties.
George Washington was against political.
Because the funny thing is,
Wow.
he was against the parties for the exact reason what is happening
Splitting?
now.
To splitting.
We're so divided. That is
I guess.
the reason. And if he was alive now, if he comes back from the grave, he'd be going,
Disappointing.
are you freaking kidding me? You literally did the thing I told you was a bad idea, and you guys went with it anyway.
He'll
be disappointed.
He's gonna find people who hate the parties, and he's gonna just basically look. I told you so.
I told you so, guy. I freaking told you so.
He'll be very disappointed about what's going on today.
He would.
And who's been elected.
I total write-ins. I would love to see every candidate that was written in with all the random ass names, even if there weren't like counted, even if they weren't legitimate. I would love to see how many people voted for Joe Biden.
There was actually okay. So what I saw this is going to be on the podcast. What I saw is that people were searching the day of the election. There was people searching when did Joe Biden drop out of the race on the day of the election.
Oh, you wanna?
And I'm like, did you? Those are probably the people who would just leave it to the last minute. They don't know who to vote for, and they're shocked.
It doesn't take that long to fill a ballot.
And then going back to the discussion about the online friends, they had no idea that J.D. Vance was Trump's running mate.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah.
There was people. I think the day after
on election day.
they were voting. They were like on the day after when Trump won. They were searching up. How do I switch my vote? What are tariffs? What is Trump's stand on immigration? So my thing is, if you're against tariffs, if you're against immigration, if you want to switch your vote, why the heck did you vote uneducated? Like, the reason I dropped my ballot off the day before election day was not because I didn't know who I was voting for president, was because I wanted to see and do research on the local,
I did it a week
the
before.
people.
I did it a week before.
I could have done it before, I just had too much time. But
I voted for Trump, and I was afraid to say that I voted for Trump because I know you guys did not like Trump.
I voted for Trump mainly because I cannot support Kamala. And it's based off of a principle, but we'll get into that in the next
yes, in this segment.
But I just want to clarify. No, I did not vote against Kamala because she's a woman. You don't just go.
That's the next.
I wouldn't think you guys would do that.
What?
I wouldn't think you guys would vote just because she's a woman.
Yes, but you just want to make sure everyone out there knows that.
I think there was a lot of people that did, but
yes, neither did I. The purely on gender, but that's the thing for the next segment. Is there anything else we want to say before this segment?
I'll say is that I guess just like a fact, I did not sleep until 7 a.m. on election night. I guess post-election morning.
Till 7 a.m?
Yeah, so basically I watched election coverage from like 4 p.m., 5 p.m., all the way until 7 a.m. the next day on Wednesday.
Were you thinking that there was going to be a change?
No, I was just interested. I was just like, let's see what's going on.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, this race is actually close.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is pretty close.
And I also have something about that, too, about the close races and what people are doing about those. But I think that's it. Anything else about the postal? I mean, just that I prepared.
I would like to say,
I'm just going to sit
I
back.
thought Trump was going to win. I didn't expect Trump to win by the margins that he did.
I knew there was a chance he would win. I did not expect it to be this, like you said, the landslide.
Yeah, he took all the swing states.
I was kind of surprised, but at the same time, no, because of the publicity stunts that he did, like the McDonald's thing, really made him popular.
Yeah, plus assassination attempts make a guy popular.
Yeah, can you imagine if that assassin actually succeeded? Then
the country would have been plunged in chaos.
It would have been, everyone would have been there would have been street riots in every state.
Riots? Why?
To protest against Trump's assassination.
Yes.
Oh. Well,
Even though they can't really change a death.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's not like you can protest and be like, God's going to be like, since you're protesting so much, I'm going to bring him back to life.
Yes, the U.S. State Department has mastered necromancy.
Yes.
Told no one.
What I was going to ask
like
is...
one Russian propagandist that said that Ukrainian army is creating zombies using gay sex
Look it up. It's true.
Okay.
Man, if I had imagination like that, my God, I would be making movie scripts in Hollywood, man.
One thing I did want to ask is, what surprised me the most was that he won so much with Latinos because of the things that happened at his MSG rally.
What happened here? Okay, refresh my memory.
So he said, well, it wasn't him. It was a comedian that they vetted.
Did he say?
Oh yeah.
They checked the script.
Yes,
the comedian went.
the
off
Cuban
script.
joke.
I think it was on script. Like
No.
they went through the whole script, and he
No.
looked the whole.
What I think happened, and I haven't looked into this, so I might be wrong. So, what I think happened is like they had a script, they approved it, then the comedian went off the script, and Trump was quick to say no, that's off script. At least that's what I think happened.
So
I think
the majority of people just brushed it off because if you look at the guy in the past, he's like a roast comedian. So usually his jokes are of that caliber of offensive. So when he said it, the majority of them were like, whatever. When the liberals were being outraged by it, they were like, whatever.
So I think there could be, I didn't think about it, but there could be a possibility that he went off script. Trump he spoke on stage, he didn't say anything about it. I think to this day he hasn't said anything about it. That he doesn't, he might have said something about it, but it wasn't that day.
I don't remember if
I don't think he has said anything yet, or maybe said it on the day after, that he doesn't approve of the messages. But anyway, so they vetted that. If it was on script, they saw the whole script and they made him take away a thing that he had to say about Kamala Harris that was sexist. So they made him drop that. But if he was on script the whole time, why would he say the other things? Do you guys remember what he said?
No. I remember the only thing I remember from his entire thing was the Cuban joke about how
Puerto Rico?
Yeah, Puerto Rico. About how how it's a trash island.
He said, well, this is my reaction as he was saying this, because I saw a clip about it. And at first he says, there's a pile of garbage in the middle of the ocean. I was like, okay, he's talking about climate change. The Pacific garbage patch.
Yes.
I was like, that's good. And then he says, and it's called Puerto Rico. And I was like, you had me... what?
Also,
That wasn't the only joke he made, though.
I know.
That was the more clean joke.
So apparently the science... Okay, I'm going to go off topic again, but I have to say this. Apparently the science behind climate change is very muddled. It is something that we cannot change. It just happens every 75 years. It is because of the Earth's rotation, how close the sun is, all that stuff. But just know that it just happens.
Can't do anything about it.
Randomly. Every 75 years, apparently.
I guess it's to an extent it might be true, because they have the Ice Age and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I guess it's so weird because it has to be at a specific... It's so delicate because if it gets too cold, then we have an ice age, and if it gets too hot, then we'll all die of heat.
Yeah.
So it has to be in that middle section where it's just warm and cold enough too.
I'm guessing maybe it's a little bit more robust than that because the Venus used to have life on it.
Mm-hmm.
Same goes with Mars. But it is still pretty fragile.
Do you remember the theory that I used to say in high school about the planets?
About how one goes off and the next one goes off.
Yes, so when I used to think... Let me do it. I'm going to wrap it up real quickly. What I used to think that that the planets... Because Venus, there used to be life on it, and there's no life anymore. So I said, what if we're just going from planet to planet and jumping over? And so when all the people died over there, they sent a few people over to Earth. And then we're just going to go into Mars, which we're already probably doing, and then just keep going and going and going.
If it's us who did it, we would already have technology.
We'll remember about it. But yeah, that was my theory, and this doesn't go anywhere. But we'll be right back. We're going to change subjects. We'll be right back.
Greetings. We're now going to go into like, why some people might have voted the way they did. Here's the thing. Kamala did not go through any primary on her own volition.
Yes.
Like, she did not get it on her own merit. All the candidates go through the primary and win it based on their own merit.
And
And the way Kamala was just selected last minute after Biden dropped out, that just didn't sit right with me, and that's why I could not support that. Because that just sets a dangerous precedent that the party can pick last minute who they want, and instead of having the people at least look at who's going to be going.
mine is
Yeah.
roughly similar. Because is roughly similar, but also at the same time, every single video clip that you see of her just makes her look unqualified,
Yes.
extremely unqualified.
Yes. If the Democrats would have had a primary to see who they would have picked, and if they actually picked someone roughly sane, which is unlikely, but we never know because they never had that primary,
Yes.
there would have been a chance that I would have considered the Democratic candidate. I say chance because, but
Yes.
but it would been higher than just a random, well, not random, but a person selected by the party last minute.
For me, if the scenario that you played out, I probably still would not vote Democratic.
That's a fair enough statement. But yeah, I just couldn't support that method because I feel it would set a dangerous precedent.
Yes, it would.
Because there's a long history of the party
Primaries.
selecting candidates in various countries, and those countries going to shit. Communist countries.
What about you? Come on. Come on.
Come on. Share
Why did you
with the
vote
class.
for? Come on.
Share with the class.
I'm trying. We know I voted for Kamala Harris.
Yes. Boo. You lose.
I would say.
Thank God.
So my
Loser!
point is, I understand the whole the primary, that whole thing, but the same thing would happen, as in a president would just or someone would become a president, mostly the vice president. So if something were to happen, there's still 2 months left until inauguration. If something were to happen to Joe Biden, Kamala Harris automatically becomes the president of the United States.
Yes, but that's a different thing. That's serving out the remainder of an existing term,
Okay.
not commandeering the run of another candidate, which is essentially what happened.
Yes.
I guess, but I still think that you're voting for both of them. I think a lot of people would say that it would have been better for the Democrats to have a primary, and so it would have been better for Joe Biden too. Joe Biden, well, what I've been seeing is that he was supposed to be a transitionary, president.
Yes,
So he was only going to do one term.
Then he lied about that, tried to run. Then his incompetence was put on bare display during the debate with Trump,
Yes.
and the Democrats collectively shit their pants. and
basically just gave Biden the cold shoulder, basically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think he made that decision by himself because he could have just kept running.
No,
said-
I think
No.
They would have
I
if
think-
they would have
I
pulled
think
him
the
out.
party elite was just like, "You're done, Joe."
Yeah, they went up to him and said, "Hey, Buster, you gotta go."
I think they were telling him and asking him to do it, but he had the ultimate decision.
But the thing is,
Do
no,
it.
the
in,
way.
his mental state, I don't think he has the full mental capacity anymore.
So basically, for what I've seen, look between before the President Biden debate and look after, because I'm assuming you already heard me say this before, but there's a clear difference between what the media said before and what they said after.
Yeah.
Before they said Biden's all right, perfectly, he's as fit as a fiddle, and then afterwards they're like, yeah, we gotta get him out.
Yeah,
Here.
and before the debate, anyone who questioned his health was like, "Oh, this guy's a conspiracy theorist, not to be trusted."
Yes.
But after the debate, suddenly, they're like, suddenly that point of view is no longer so controversial.
Yes.
It's weird how that works.
And notice how the media at the same time never really showed off what Biden's doing after the debate. There was a lot. I'm just saying there was a lot more like videos of him before it and then after it. Once the Democrats realized that he's basically not going to win, they just pushed him aside.
Yeah.
That's what I've That's what I've noticed.
I still think he had the option because I think to what's going on right now with the talks of Sonia Sotomayor, the justice. She's older. She says she's well, but a lot of people are saying that she's not in terms of like health. So a lot of people are fearing, especially Democrats, are fearing that she will die or something would happen or she retires. Probably not die, but she would have to leave being a justice within the next 4 years. And that would give Trump another automatic pick for, what's it called? For the courts. So a lot of people are saying, have been telling her to step down, to retire early so that Joe Biden can pick someone else new before that happens to guarantee there being, 4 or whatever. I think
the Republicans
would have
the
Republicans already have the majority right now. So they would keep it more, but like ensure someone for the next few years. I think so. If Sotomayor has said she's not going to drop out or not drop out, not going to retire, she's going to continue on. That she thinks she's good. So I think she had an option of say no, to say no. So I think Joe Biden had that same option if he could have stuck to his guns and been like, I'm not leaving. If they would have kicked them out like publicly, I think it would have been more of a bigger win for Trump.
There would have been I think the Democratic Party would have, at that point, just put the screws on Joe, be like, get out, Buster.
Yeah, and like if they were telling him like to leave and he doesn't want to leave, I feel like a lot of people would have been like, I don't know if the Democratic, like they would not, I think Donald Trump would have won more of a landslide if that would have happened.
Yes. If Joe Biden kept running?
If he kept running because of
Democrats.
If Joe Biden continued to run, there almost wouldn't need to be an election.
Yeah, because it would just be a landslide victory.
But I mean, I don't mean it like if the Democrats are telling him to leave and he doesn't want to leave, I feel like a lot of Democrats who would still vote for Joe Biden would be like, I don't trust the Democratic Party if they're going to force someone out just because they don't like him anymore. I don't know if that makes sense.
So, okay.
I'd be explaining it wrong.
I'm just saying, if he was still on the ballot, like, it would just be full red. There would be no doubt about that. But,
There would be some
blues probably.
Some, a little bit, but like, after that display that we saw, I highly doubt that people would follow him.
But yeah, I don't think he would have kept running. I don't think his team would have let him keep running, even if the Democrats allowed him to, just because age.
Should we talk about why Donald Trump to say this is already a pretty big landslide victory, but I'd have to say that, should we talk about why so many people voted for Trump?
I think so. We should. Let's.
Because
why do you guys think?
Actually kind of have an idea on why. And I think I've already told you.
I think I kind of have an idea why.
Yes. So basically, I think the reason why people like him so much is that, notice that he does not have, he does have some, but he doesn't have really giant, big celebrity names out there. And plus he also did the Joe Rogan podcast once. He's more like, he talks to more of the middle class, more than what Kamala Harris did, which is bringing in these big wigs like Beyonce, Taylor Swift, that do all these fancy things. But there's Donald Trump just sitting there with the middle class, and the middle class is going to be
are you saying Joe Rogan is middle class?
Well, he's not.
but
how many people? How many people?
More of Trump's voters.
Yeah.
Like him talking with Joe Rogan than him talking with any of these celebrities. And fun fact, if you go down the conspiracy rabbit hole, there's some people who believe that all the celebrities are evil anyway, so it wouldn't make sense. So, and Trump wants to win that vote. It wouldn't make sense for Trump to really have all those celebrities backing him.
Yes. And you know how, like, mainly the conservative... basically, if you watch the conservative YouTube channels, it's basically saying how... They call them the Hollywood elite for a reason. They're basically saying they're all evil. None of them are redeemable. Except for maybe Chris Pratt. And Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan. I
Yeah, I
have
don't
some
think
beef with him. Hulk Hogan's special. Not because I like him. He's so... I saw him when he was at the rally, and I felt like he was on drugs. He looked like he was...
He just has a lot of energy.
He has way too much energy for that, being that old.
Are you serious? You literally... Well, he's old, but, you hang out with me, and I have a lot of energy.
But you're not old.
Yeah, I know, but, people...
I mean, if I was
Have you seen Crazy George in the Earthquakes game? He's like this little, short, old dude who bangs a drum really fast.
At the Earthquakes?
Yes, Earthquakes game. He comes every game. Well, yeah, he is. He's in every game. And he has a lot of energy. Just saying.
But okay, that's probably different energy than what Hulk Hogan had. He was like going up there...
Segment.
What happened?
Okay, I just want to clarify that, well, actually, I don't really care about Joe Rogan. As far as I'm concerned, he's the enemy.
Well, actually, I have a funny story. At the end, when I was editing the last episode, at the end when we're doing the intros, the last thing that Frankie says is, "We're gonna beat Joe Rogan," and I kept it in the podcast. So that's the last thing. So we're gonna be playing that when we beat him.
We're coming for you, Joe.
That's right. We are rapidly approaching your position for legal reasons. This is all a joke. And
Yes, it's all a joke.
Yes, if you're gonna beat up everyone, beat Frankie.
No! Don't out me!
We're throwing him under the bus.
No!
Sorry, Starscream.
No, I know what it feels like to beat Joe Biden. But at least he has Alzheimer's to forget all of it happened.
Frankie Smith said that, who lives on 123 Drury Lane.
Don't tell him.
What was I gonna say? Oh, so my opinion on why I think people voted for Trump. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because I'm about to be disappointed at your answer.
I think because a lot of people are seeing what Joe Biden is doing with the economy right now, or what's going on with the economy right now, and are blaming Joe Biden for it. And a lot of the things that people, like, it's kind of the same thing what happened with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
The way that he handled COVID, he was the incumbent president. He lost because of the way he handled COVID.
That, you also need to remember Biden also did that retreat in
From Afghanistan.
Yeah, Afghanistan.
There was
I forgot that.
But a lot of people were blaming, because vice presidents can do a lot,
but they often don't.
but they don't do a lot but they technically don't do a lot or can't do a lot. They're kind of just there on standby. And if the president's like, you go work on that, like Donald or Joe Biden said, you go work on the border. So she will be, if Joe Biden says go work on the border, she would go work on the border.
For a second, I thought you said go work on the border. You're going to be putting together a mortar. There's a reason why they call her the border czar.
And then
she's dropping those mortars.
That's what that thing is called. Okay, I was trying to remember the other day what that was called.
What, you mean like the tube with the stick and then they just take a mortar shell and they pop it in?
Yes. Because one of my friends, we have this whole thing where like he does this whole scene whenever like there's a motor, like he reenacts a motor, he like puts it up. It's a whole thing. You have to see it in person.
Okay.
But anyway, if he's watching this, he knows who I'm talking about probably.
Is there anything else we would like to say?
Yes, my opinion on why people... I never got to finish. But I think the reason was probably... that it was just that. It was that every time that...
Discord!
It distracts me.
Yes, Discord is the reason Kamala lost the election.
But
Yes.
if you really think about it, like you were saying, that they were going more towards like podcasts and that sort of stuff. And I think what I've been hearing a lot right now from podcasters is that people are going to stop relying as much on the
Traditional
news and everyone,
Yeah.
and are going to go more to podcasts.
Yeah.
And I think if Kamala...
And personally, I don't watch traditional media much anymore. I get a lot of my, especially international news, from like YouTube stuff. Like I think the channel's called Warfronts now.
That's the one that talks about the Middle East stuff.
Yeah.
A week after it happens, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So a lot of people are more like not gonna. So like she went on big shows like The View, or like I think she went on SNL. She went, where else did she go? She went on like big shows, which the shows that she was going on are mostly people that support her. So it would have been better to go on places where they don't support her. She did go on Fox News. They totally trashed her for it.
Yes, and she showed up late and didn't give the entire thing. Dodged questions, and basically her one attempt to be on the other side's media turned out to be kind of a shit show.
The person who interviewed her was being a little rude towards the beginning, because she was trying to answer the question and he just didn't let her answer the question. Like he kept interrupting her over and over and over again. And a lot of people were like, she can't even answer a question. But like, I wouldn't be able to answer a question if you're interrupting me. So,
Yeah, that'd be, after all, imagine.
because if we're both talking at the same time, no one's gonna understand what we're saying. So, but that was one of the reasons I think that Donald Trump. Are you planning something?
Finish it off. Then we'll insult you.
Yes. Then the recording will end.
Mysteriously end. And then come back to me crying.
We'll be back after our break.
beating.
We're gonna take them round back.
Yes, as Joe Biden would say, take him behind the bleachers.
Every time I hear "Take Him Around Back," I remember Mario.
Exactly.
Mario, if you're listening to
Mario, where are you?
this, come back to us.
Oh my God, we need him on this podcast. We need him
Oh
here.
my God, this would be a completely different podcast if he was on here.
Anyway,
But yeah, so the reason that she won or she lost was because of that, because she wasn't going on to those like on the podcast. She was basically more on mainstream stuff that people don't watch as much anymore. But it was also like she had, what was it, 100 days? To run. So it was also like Joe Biden should have probably dropped out early if he was going to drop out. And then she would have had a full, a year or two?
if Joe Biden would have dropped out, the Democrats would have been forced to have a primary, and someone else would have probably come to the fore. And
Yeah.
Kamala.
I think a lot of Democrats have been hearing Nancy Pelosi. I think she's been saying that, where like she would have wanted Joe Biden to drop out earlier and then be a primary, so that the Democrats would have actually chosen someone that they
Probably would have been a closer
would have won.
race, a closer race.
Yes.
But
If
like
I looked at it, it would not be a victory vote on Michigan.
it might have been like the primary that Donald Trump had, where he was automatically going to be winning each one of them, where he won all primaries, even though he didn't show up to any single debate, any Republican debates.
I feel like he did show up to a few debates.
I watched all of them. He didn't show up to any of them.
I'm about to call you. Apparently, Doritos are made by Disney.
Doritos are not made by
They were
Disney.
invented by in Disneyland for like chips. Apparently, you can look that up.
Why are we talking about
Because you gonna look that up to see
I
if I'm
am.
wrong? I probably am.
How spell Doritos? D.
DORITOS.
Anyway, I just want to make one final
Where
remark
was-
before the recording ends. The Democrats gave Kamala $1 billion. She lost the election, and now she is in debt.
$21 billion.
Apparently.
Really? I thought it was only $1 billion.
Is it just, or is that just, is $1 billion in debt just on Kamala's part?
How much did
I did also one
Sorry,
thing.
Elon.
Well, there was one thing I was gonna say.
Harris raised 1 billion.
Oh, so it's just 1 billion. Okay.
Yes, and now she's 20 million in debt. So I'm just saying, maybe podcasts may be a cheaper alternative.
I don't think she paid for any of the. I think they paid her to be on. I don't think she would have paid to go on any show.
Yeah, but
At
she
least-
did pay a bunch
She did pay a lot of people for her
celebrities.
rallies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
She paid a
bunch
bunch of celebrities.
Yeah, and she still lost.
Wasn't it Beyonce that wanted $1 million
For like
just
10
to
minutes.
show up and talk? I was like, my God.
The thing with the Beyonce one, a lot of people were like, she didn't sing. I wasn't expecting her to sing at a rally. So it was confusing to me. I was like, you were going to a rally? You were
Yeah,
going to
I know,
a
it's
Kamala
like-
Harris rally and expecting Beyonce
Yeah, I
to
know.
sing.
It's like, it's politics, man. It's not supposed to be all fun and games.
There was people that were upset, like outside the concert crying. They're like, we wasted
Yeah,
money.
I know.
I think the Trump campaign had like 338
Wow.
million.
And
Million?
it's still a landslide victory.
So I guess it just shows conservatives know how to spend their money better.
Which basically shows you that they would probably fix the economy.
Tariffs.
Let's
And
turn
now-
that into an
And
We'll see.
then we're going to end the recording now.
Yeah, we'll take a break. We'll be back.
The beating will begin immediately.
You didn't know I was wearing a wire.
Greetings. We are back again. Now, we are going to talk about misinformation.
The beating's over.
Which is what this individual here spreads, which is liberal lies.
Yes! You're disgusting. Liberal lies. And you always say it's the truth.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Nothing but falsehoods from you.
After the beating.
Silence!
Silence, or else I'll beat you again. This
next
time
break.
will be of a belt. Because by the looks of it, your dad didn't use a belt enough.
Okay. This is becoming a tradition where every episode you kind of insult me, but it's funny. Last time it was you called me.
Sure, it was funny. That was pretty extreme.
Last time you called me an alien.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I called you an alien.
Yeah.
Did Jose
You alien.
call you a professional immigrant?
Wait, I did.
Jose Luis.
Oh yeah.
They were also saying, because we were talking about the election, and they were saying that they were going to vote for me. And I was like, I didn't run for president. He was like, we're going to write you in. I was like,
if there's a presidential run and you're on the ballot, I am not voting for you.
wow. It's great to see that I have great friends.
You have the bestest friend. It's just that, as a friend, I wouldn't want you to be in office.
I wouldn't want you to have to deal with all this shit.
Yeah, that's all the stress, all the
Not
problems.
good way to play it off.
Yes, yes. Listen,
Not even if
we
I
are
give
angels who can do no wrong. You want to know why? Because we're conservative. We are conservative, and only conservatives are angels.
I'm right here. You're right there.
Yes, to us, you're an inferior being, but we do not treat you as such.
So are the beatings for fun?
Yes.
The meetings will continue until morality proves.
Is this going to be the podcast?
Probably not. What was I going to say? Misinformation, yes.
Yes.
So,
Should we restart, or should we just keep this?
we can keep it. I'll just edit it out.
I believe the youngins say I was cooking with that dad beating joke. All the youngins, the skibbity lovers.
So you wouldn't vote for me, not even if I gave you a cabinet position?
Give me head of the Department of Defense, and we have a deal.
Yes. Give me power armor and a jetpack with the power armor, mounted onto it, and.
Back to misinformation.
Silence!
I'm gonna beat you with a belt.
Wait until we're in commercial break.
All right. Yeah.
So
I feel like we should actually re-record.
I thought you were gonna say I feel like we should actually hit me with the belt. I was like, no, please
No way.
No, I would never say something like that in a place where I would be recording. Not at all. Let me just. All right, now.
Oh, I'm gonna be
Let me just right now. Oh man. All right.
Okay. Misinformation. So
All right, so should we actually redo?
No.
we can just leave it and I'll just edit it out.
You just edit it out.
Yeah.
Keeping the funny parts.
One thing about when I was editing this is I would listen to the whole thing and I was just laughing. I was in my car editing and I was laughing the whole time. And then afterwards, I felt like I had hung out with you guys for like a whole day. I was like, I remember when I was like, wait, I wasn't with them a few hours ago. I was just watching the podcast, but it felt like I was there. So we're doing something good.
Is my voice lower in the recording?
No, I don't know, maybe.
Because I remember when I recorded myself with my phone once, and I for some reason had a way lower voice.
Different mics will do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, misinformation.
Yes.
So one of the things that I saw the other day was that Kamala Harris emailed people saying that if they would donate to her recount effort, I forgot what it's called. There's a specific name, and so a lot of people were like, "Oh, she's trying to recount the election so that she can become president."
Yeah, I remember that.
But it was not for president. She said that she didn't exactly say it wasn't for president, but she did concede to the election, and she doesn't want to, I guess, open that topic anymore.
Yes.
But it was mostly for local House Senates that were seats and elections that were too close to call.
Okay, but funny thing about that, there was a reaction on the internet. There was a guy who walked up to, I'm assuming his grandma or something, and they said, "Hey, they're gonna recount for Kamala," and she's like, "No freaking way they aren't!" The way she took it was like she was like, "She runs dead." They hear that word, they have a recount.
I know there was another thing where a lot of people are like,
What is that?
It's
Damage to me immediately.
"Is it the screw again?"
Yes, I like.
Is that
thinking
going to
at it.
podcast? It's going to be in the podcast all the time. What happened?
No.
You know what I just realized? What happened to Bones?
He was finally dealt with. He was too politically unreliable.
It's going to be a yearly.
Yeah.
So
He's going to be a yearly guest.
So I found him committing I found him committing sin. So
She took a picture of his sin. Come on, let's see it.
yes, I found him committing sin. So he had the bones needed to be executed.
What is he doing? Is he?
Careless whispers, place.
You laughed at it. Can you explain? Is it like ASMR? Is it like an ASMR thing?
This will
Looks like they are.
This will probably.
Oh!
Wait. This is gonna explain it. Wait. Give me a second.
That's
It's
Bones
this.
is taking back shots.
Dong dong dong.
No, that's Freddy or.
Please, no. My innocent ears can't.
Yes, and it has found you.
The Excelsior Mafia.
It comes back. It always goes back to that.
Yes.
But-
yes. Don't mind me and Frankie's weird obsession with the Excelsior class.
I used to not be. until his grand plan, his divine will,
Yes.
is so beautiful.
Yes.
It simply cannot be ignored. I simply cannot not be a part of that.
He used to be opposed to my plan until.
But until you told me that you were willing to desecrate Karl Marx's grave and destroy every single atom of his remaining being, I cannot just sit there and say no.
Misinformation.
Yeah.
Yes, misinformation. Let's talk about that.
So there was that. So they were saying that she was going to do it, but it's not the case. It's more for, what was I going to say? Oh, there's a lot of people. That's what I was going to talk about. There's a lot of people who are saying that they are getting sent TikTok videos that show election fraud, but that's obviously not the case. No election fraud happened.
Ah, yes, the most reliable source of the internet, TikTok.
You know,
Everyone knows.
I want to go into TikTok, and I'm going to have a discussion, and no one's going to stop me. Anyway,
Their headquarters
No,
are
silence! You're not going to stop me.
No, I'm giving you the option. Their headquarters are here.
Yes. Yes.
So you're close by. You just need to go to the
We'll
airport.
do it together.
Yes. Anyway, so
Well, we're gonna have a podcast episode with them.
Oh yes, we will chastise him.
So wait, who are we talking about?
Misinformation.
It's there was a lot of people just saying that there was like election fraud, but there was no election fraud. Everyone knows that there was no election fraud. It's just people saying that because they don't want the outcome.
It's
But
funny
even
how,
me-
how the conservatives did the.
No, but the thing is, there's a lot of conservatives that are saying that there was election fraud.
yeah, I know.
And
Back
I'm
in
like,
2020.
right now,
Now?
yes, and I'm saying your guy
I'm
won.
like, really? Your side won.
Why are you complaining?
It's just, I guess, it's people that are like every time someone wins, it's just gonna be election fraud left and right.
Oh my god.
Or
But-
it's just straight horseshoe theory.
Yeah, but that if anything,
To explain to the members of the audience who may not know what horseshoe theory is, it's essentially that the radical left and the radical right are essentially the exact same thing, that just operate under different names. There is some evidence to believe this, but it is not concrete.
Betting on the division of our current United States, I'd have to say no.
I mean, both the radical left and the radical right oppose supporting Ukraine for different reasons.
Yes. Oh, I suppose you're right.
but yeah, there's no election fraud. It's just people trying to cope with there being.
Yes. Yes.
And
that
if
actually,
anything- If anything, this election proves that the Democrats did not cheat last election, because if they would have cheated last election, they would have won this election. So, unless that's what they want you to think. Conspiracy theories.
But seriously, why did so many people? Where did 9 million votes go?
That is it.
And people I just think it's people didn't vote.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people, especially back in 2020, were like, I want to vote this time because I want someone that's actually going to handle the pandemic, that might handle the pandemic differently. And I think, yeah, because early on.
I almost wish I voted for the guy who made it last longer.
Okay.
Sorry.
Frankie wants people to die.
No, I just want to be home again.
You can be home. You can be home and just let us all be in peace, without having to deal with all
I
that.
was in peace.
But
I'm just joking, by the way. That was just a joke.
I think it's just that it's just people, especially because people were like, Trump at the beginning of COVID downplayed it a lot, and so a lot of people didn't take it seriously. And so I think if we would have just for 2 weeks done all the things that we would have needed to do, I think we would have been done with COVID way before we were.
I doubt that.
Maybe.
Mainly because of how COVID spread.
Yeah.
COVID was not going away in 2
Yeah.
weeks. No, regardless of who's president.
I guess what I was saying it's more like.
But the main thing my main gripe I have with the COVID response doesn't have to do with Trump or Biden. It has to do with Fauci and how Fauci constantly flip-flopped his position on whether masks were necessary. Because masks aren't necessary.
And then they are necessary.
And then they aren't, and they are. and without a vaccination, yada 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 yada. I'm like,
It's-
up your fucking mind.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's the reason why, I'm pretty sure Fauci stepped down. I'm pretty sure, after the pandemic happened. And after all, how could he not? All of his credibility is gone.
I think I don't remember him swapping with the vaccine, but I do know him with the mask. He did say at first he said it wasn't necessary. We didn't need it because they were getting it to health providers, so they had enough of it. The people who were actually coming in contact, and they said that we all needed it.
That's a post thing invented by the media to try to cover up Fauci. Fact is, he was flip-floppy, and I hate people who flip-flop, regardless of reason.
I think he should have been more like at the beginning would have said, "You need the mask" or "You don't need the mask," and just kept.
On Discord.
We're really popular on Discord apparently.
99 notifications. Dear God. I'm going to slap you. I hope you know that.
What?
I'm saying wrap it up.
Yes. I wish I had a belt right now.
All right. Well, we're gonna come back to our next segment here in a little bit after our next commercial break.
No.
All right, now it's morning time.
You are the Elon Musk to Donald Trump.
And this will be our final section for this episode. We will be talking about mass deportations, immigration.
The economy, tariffs.
Yes. Yeah. Now, let us begin with immigrations and deportations.
I would like to talk about Trump's bold plan. Did you hear how many people he plans to deport?
This one's about like 20 million.
That is quite a bit. And didn't he say that it was like he was going to do that in like the first week?
Yep.
That seems a bit unfeasible.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
That's why I thought I was like, my God, that's pretty bold to even
So
remotely claim that you're going to gather 20 million undocumented immigrants and give them the boot back to where they back to.
I don't think logistically that's
To their
not
country.
possible.
I was
Logistically, that's not possible within that time frame. He might deport that many people throughout his entire presidency, but even that's a stretch.
Yes.
So, I want to talk about Haiti for a second.
Hey,
Oh
No.
Yes.
is it what happened yesterday?
What happened yesterday?
Haiti, an airline was shot at.
In Haiti, as it was landing.
Freaking out!
Two of them actually, I think.
What?
Two different. It was Spirit Airlines, which, and then I don't know who Delta. I think.
Spirit Airlines, it probably just fell apart in the sky. But anyway,
They're blaming it on the shooting, but
Anyway,
it could be Boeing for all we know.
Anyway, I'm just gonna talk about if they try to send a lot of people are currently fleeing from Haiti because Port-au-Prince, the capital, is currently overrun by gangs.
Yes.
which is what happened
I'm
with
pretty
the.
sure it was.
And and if we try to send people back there, it would not end well.
It would be a humanitarian crisis.
Haiti is already a humanitarian crisis.
That we choose to kind of ignore.
Yes, and here's the thing. We don't want to send our troops to Haiti because we don't want to be seen as colonizing Central and Southern America. But we're giving all of the money to the Kenyan police to try to sort it out.
I don't think they can.
They have seen limited success, but due to lack of funding, they can't do shit most of the time.
So, I remember them when they said that the big prison in Haiti was basically ransacked. The moment that happened, I was like, oh no, Haiti is going to become a terrible place to be. And lo and behold, that happened. And the weird thing is, just like how you said, I didn't even know of that plane incident. So we're kind of just brushing this under the rug so no one really cares because it's overshadowed by the stuff in the Middle East and
In Eastern Europe.
and Eastern Europe, that too.
Equally as important, but still.
Yeah. Because, you know, who would want to live in a place where it's literally overrun by criminals?
I think it was the plane was leaving Florida.
Yes.
Fort Lauderdale, I think.
I think so, and it was on its had to divert to the Dominican Republic.
It was as soon as it was landing, it got shot at and had to quickly divert to the Dominican Republic
To get away.
to get away from the
Yeah, something tells...
But just why? That makes no sense.
It seems that...
because they're trying to stop. I think it was. I did hear that they were trying to stop people from going into. The gang is trying to stop people from going into Haiti.
Okay, but why?
Yeah, I guess in my sense, if I was trying to like, especially for a war, I would want more people in there so I can make more destruction. But I guess, not that I want to start a war.
I'm guessing why does any cartel do anything, I suppose.
The only
After all, they are
the only good thing that cartels do is watch anime.
apparently.
I will never forget that.
After,
Remind me next time I go to Mexico to take just a bunch of anime stuff and bribe them with.
Oh, no. It's not just any old...
It's
Sorry, okay.
Goku.
It's Dragon Ball, Buster. It is Dragon Ball.
Thank you for protecting me.
If you take that, the cartels can leave you alone.
If you take that, you can...
I'm gonna cover our van and just Goku anime, what's it called, stickers all the way outside, so that they just see they're like, we appreciate you.
It's like, hey, you know you're a weeb, but you're a respectful weeb.
Do you know do you need us to protect you as you head your way?
Yes, we will protect you.
We'll escort you through the towns.
yes.
But, so a lot of people were saying that he's not gonna deport a lot of people. I didn't even think about that, deporting them back to places where they're fleeing from.
Yeah, and then there's the entire country of Venezuela.
There's that too.
There's been a continuing crisis for decades.
Yeah, that's...
And it's like, didn't they like lose like a third of their population to people fleeing? I think I don't remember.
It would make sense.
As much as like it, you know, it's... I know everyone says, oh, it's colonization, but sometimes you just gotta go in there and bust some heads in order to restore order.
I don't think it would be colonization.
It's not, but, you know, the people are gonna say, it's colonizing! It's colonizing!
7.7 million people fled Venezuela.
Jesus!
They're all probably here.
Probably.
More than 6.5 have been hosted in Latin American and Caribbean countries.
Oh.
But it's still 1.2 million other people.
Who are just, yeah. A lot of people, like, most people who voted for Trump said, oh, they're not going to deport people. That's not going to happen. And, you know, economically, you would say, yes, that wouldn't happen. Just because it would affect the economy so much, because a lot of immigrants do the jobs that people don't want to do. Like,
My thing is, like, logistically, 20 million in a week would be impossible.
I don't
That
think it would
is
be,
impossible.
yeah, that's
You would
impossible.
need to track 20 million people down.
You would yes, and then you would need to basically confiscate every aircraft that is currently on the United States soil, and then have them charter all of those flights to various places.
Probably, because he did say he wanted to do, like, concentration camps, sort of. And, like, put them in that.
I did not hear that. Did you hear that?
No.
He was saying he was going to put them in prisons or camps or do something like that.
In the meantime, what?
Yeah.
What?
What? Source? Where is it? Show it. Come on.
While we look for that, I will say that a lot of people were, like, saying that, oh, it's not going to happen. But he just appointed, and that's why I was looking for his name, Tom Hammond, former ICE director known for his strict immigration enforcement on policies. So if people don't think it's going to happen, it probably will happen.
You know what's bizarre? We take away our insane asylums, yet you're saying that they're going to build a place to house illegal immigrants. But since those insane asylums are closed, those people don't know where to, the people who are insane don't know where to go, and they become homeless. And they kind of just become the streets problem. So, just saying.
There's a clip from C-SPAN. 2022.
So,
I found something from Reuters. Trump does not rule out building detention camps for mass deportations. So it's not ruled out.
It's 2022, though.
This one that I'm reading is 2024.
Ah.
April 30th, 2024. It's the Reuters one.
Yeah.
It's the one that titled Trump does not rule out building concentration.
I'm looking at a different Reuters article. Look at a different Reuters article.
Yeah, I think it is a different one because mine's a picture of him.
I don't think he's going to do that.
Look, yeah, me neither. Maybe because 20 million people. That's just.
It's too much.
That is
I
impossible.
don't.
That didn't scare me this time.
I didn't want to drop it because I don't have a case on it this time.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I knew it was gonna happen.
And
I
you
knew
know
it.
that it's cracked.
No,
Don't drop it again, Butterfinger.
it is not cracked, which is great.
Well,
But
it's dropped on wood.
probably. But what I was
It knows
gonna
that.
say. What I was gonna say is, I don't think he's gonna do it in his first week, but I think he will do it in his first year. I mean, before his term is over. So,
He might try. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll succeed.
I don't think he'll get to that, but he did say he's gonna start off with the criminals, which I think we all agree.
Yeah,
that
start
any
yeah,
criminal.
start with criminals.
Start with violent criminals.
Yes.
I didn't think he was gonna do it in his first week. I think it might have been the criminals he was gonna do in his first week.
That's 20 million criminals.
No, it was 20 million people as a whole, I think. He was going to start off with the criminals.
That's still a very,
Yeah.
very bold
Yeah.
thing to claim.
Yes.
And also, like, well, what is that going to do to the economy?
Sorry.
Because most immigrants...
Deporting criminals?
No, the people that are, like, regular, like, non-criminals, I guess.
So, if you want to know how I would do it, I would start out by deporting the criminals and then be
Yes.
like, consider this a warning. Get your shit together. Get your immigration papers all in order. Because once we're done with the criminals, we're going to start deporting the rest of them. You have an 18-month grace period.
That seems like a good idea.
That would be a good idea. The only thing is that a lot of people are going to be scared to do that because they're like, it's a trap. And so how do you tell people it's not a trap?
I will say, it is not a trap. That's
exactly what- Because a lot of people, like, there's a lot of people that want to do that, but they're like, I've been here for way too long. They're going to probably deport me and send me back.
Here.
So they're scared
You
to
say it like this. Look, this may sound like a trap, but it's not. After
You
all,
won't- you
the
won't-
United
if
States
you-
was built on immigration.
Yes.
So-
if you come to the immigration officers and you don't have a criminal record, you will not be deported just for coming to the offices.
But then, if you say no criminal record, being like illegally coming into the country is a crime.
All right, there's two things you got to do. First, deal with the immigrants. Two, you got to streamline the immigration system.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
right now it is
It-
bogged down
yeah.
with bureaucracy.
That's the reason why a lot of people are breaking in.
Apparently, it takes 22 years to get an immigration pass.
I don't know if that's a little too high, but I think it was like 2 or 3 years.
Oh. Okay, it might have been too long.
But it's a long time, and so that's why a lot of people are like, we need to leave now. We need to like,
We need to just go across.
and
the
that's
border.
that's happening. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people are just coming in here, and a lot of the criminals are hiding in with those people who are not
yeah,
criminals. And one thing I heard the other day was a long time ago, actually, it was a couple weeks ago, that of the like if Biden wanted to deport all the immigrants, he would have already. If Donald Trump wanted done it, he would have done it his last term. But the thing is that anybody who comes in, like for example, anyone working at a field collecting like fruits and working in chicken coops and working in cow, what's it called? Slaughterhouses. Those people, like most of them are illegally here, and so they're not paid any like workers' comp or Social
Apparently
Security.
the farmers treat them really badly.
Yeah, and so it's just free labor. And so that's why they won't do anything, because they know that if they were to like you said, give illegal immigrants citizenship or give them like work, allow them to get another job or make it so that they're legally here, they would get another job and then they would not work those jobs and those jobs would just, no one will be working those jobs.
I probably already said this before, but if companies have the ability to build robots that can do all the things that humans can, they would get rid of everyone in a heartbeat.
Yes.
They'd be like, fired, 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 out. We have robots now who can work 24/7 and do not get tired.
Self-checkout machines.
Yes.
They're literally there, unless they break down, they're there for a whole, what is it? Target opens from my Target opens from
The
8 in
only
the morning
reason
to
why they
11.
they have normal checkouts is because some people, I believe,
They don't know how to do it.
yeah, they don't know how to. They don't know how to.
Yeah, there's that, and there's also, at least for what Target's doing, is most people who are stealing from the store go to self-checkout so they can not scan some items and just leave. So they're stealing through there. But they are using AI now, where if someone doesn't scan something, it alerts us that they didn't scan something.
But it's be able to see it through like a camera.
There's like a camera above it now.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know if it's every Target, but at least my Target has it.
Also, I just find it funny how like a conservative Elon Musk is saying, Elon Musk is like, well, for the jobs. You're also simultaneously building robots.
I was gonna. Yes, we need to do that. So economy tariffs. So mass deportation is. I think it's gonna happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but it's gonna be bad if it does happen. Really quickly on tariffs. Do we know how tariffs work?
It's basically an additional tax.
It's a tax for goods that are being imported.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So say if Apple is getting their iPhones from China, they have to pay a tariff.
Yeah, and and it's a way to like kind of promote home industries as opposed to foreign industries, because that cost will be passed on to the consumer.
Exactly. That's where I wanted to get to. So when Trump says he's going to do those tariffs, especially for China, that we get everything from China, I don't know what's going to happen.
Everything from China.
China is more dependent on us than we are on China.
If they start something and we pull out of China, they're going to fall apart. That's why they have not done anything to Taiwan yet. Because they know if they do something, we would leave.
I forget where I saw this from, but there was this person that said that her husband, they had a whole like meeting for this company that sells stuff, and they said that they were going to cut bonuses for Christmas bonuses, or end of the year bonuses, because they're starting to. This happened the day after the election, so the day after Trump won, they're cutting the bonuses because they want to use that money to buy extra goods from China, so that when tariffs happen, they're not impacted as much and don't have to raise prices.
That is douchey. But anyway, listen, what do I know?
Corporations do douchey shit all the time.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, if they had the ability to replace us with robots, they would do. With that, do not need to be paid. They'd do it in a heartbeat.
And then also on Elon Musk, the last thing I will say, because I have more things, but we'll talk about it. I think we're going to have to do with part 2 of this, because this is a great discussion. Elon Musk wants to do chips. So what's stopping Donald Trump from making the thing where we're all required to get a chip inside our brains?
Because I want to address that point, mainly because the conservatives were like basically like going off about like, oh, the vaccines are a requirement, that's unconstitutional. I don't think Trump will do that, mainly on the basis of that's literally the exact same thing as the vaccinations.
Yes.
Thing is that's going to start the same argument. Trump does not want to alienate his support base.
I don't think it was going to happen either. It's just a thought that occurred to me the other day. I was like, interesting. Because he's all chips and stuff. But I don't think it's going to happen. There's nothing stopping him from doing it, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
But I think that's it.
Yep.
Alrighty, let's wrap it up.
Yep. Thank you for listening. And now, that is all for today.
We'll probably have a part 2.
Yes. But that's all for right now. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. And that is all. Anything else you would like to say?
Have a good day or night or whatever time it is.
have a good time.
And we'll see you next time.
Until